That is vile. It's like grotesque. It's just filthy. That is really nasty. It's like insultingly bad.
Hey, I've been busy and it's been dirtier. So this is kind of a good state.
Has it? It's been dirtier than this? Filippo. This is really bad. All right, hi everyone, I'm Kennan.
I'm Filippo.
And this is a tremendously dirty Fiat.
It's better on the side. The front's really bad.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know how to wash a car? Have you ever washed a car?
I have washed a car. Have I washed a car well? No.
Okay.
But I think you can teach me.
And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I shall use my expertise in washing cars and keeping them very, very clean to help do what I can to save this Fiat.
It's not that bad. All right, we're off to clean my car.
Yes. Now this is, I love washing cars. For me, when you clean a car, you clean your mind. And I really, that's very therapeutic for me. I spend a lot of time cleaning my M5, you can imagine.
My feeling about cleaning cars, when you clean a car, you spend a few hours. That's all I know.
Yeah, I believe, yes, absolutely. You spend a few hours. I agree with that. I'm surprised you didn't say a few minutes.
I've never had it take a while. Every once in a while, if it's not that dirty and I'm at the office and you've shown me where our cleaning supplies are, I'll wipe it down. And every once in a while, I'll go to like a self-wash thing and just hose it off. Or I'll hose it off at home.
Okay.
Those are not great hosing off, you know?
No.
Just to do something.
Just to do something because it's so embarrassingly dirty that you feel it's like you gotta. Wow, E39 M5.
I wouldn't use the word embarrassing. It just is dirty.
Just is dirty.
I don't associate it with any kind of characteristics of the person driving it. I've chosen not to.
So for
self-preservation reasons.
So you very kindly recently let me borrow this car.
Yeah.
While you were away.
I can't help but notice that you didn't wash it. So
I didn't wash it for this exact video. That's the whole reason behind it. And because I couldn't wash it because we wanted it to be as dirty as possible to
little
show you how to do this.
You could have washed it.
Yeah,
would have still been dirty.
It drove me nuts. Like driving around with a dirty car, I just legitimately my skin crawls at the thought of how dirty it is.
I don't like the inside being dirty.
Which in fairness,
I mean, it's like slightly dusty
decent.
because I needed new tires, so I haven't been driving it and I was out of town for a month.
And it's a convertible in general.
Yeah, the outside, it's nice when it's clean, but my car often is outside. It's gonna get dirty, and that's a part of life. But I will admit, it's bad right now.
It's really bad.
How wet am I getting?
If there's water involved and you're cleaning a car, wet.
I don't know how to tell you this, Kennan, but the water's supposed to get on the car.
Yes, but there's mist which collects and condenses.
This isn't an early 2000s rom-com where we're doing a car wash to fundraise for the football team.
But I might have to use that leaf blower to blow you off based on how wet you're going to inevitably get here.
Fine.
A button down?
I don't have special clothes.
You knew we were filming
all
this
my
thing.
clothes are multi-purpose.
Yes.
Just like all my cars are multi-purpose cars. One time I had a bike in here because...
Did you put it out the...
Yeah. You are supposed to clean cars in full sun, right? Like you want the car to be warm, just because the heat helps. Is that right?
You're being so tedious. No. You want it to be as cool as possible. Tell you don't even have driven the car. If I know I'm going to clean my M5 in the office, which is every Friday, or Thursday, Friday, somewhere in there, depending on how busy I am, I park the car, when I get to the office, I open the hood to let out all of the heat so that there's no heat of any kind left in the car by the time I go to clean it toward the end of the day. Now, of course, we are driving around in a black car on a summer day in San Diego.
Right.
The paint will not be ideally as cool as I would like it.
Everybody talks about the fact that white cars are really hard to keep clean.
I don't think,
well, you drive down a dirt road and then your car looks brown.
That's true.
Transited property, that means the black cars are easy to clean.
Which is exactly not true. Silver cars are the ones.
This is enjoyable. I love just being difficult.
Silver is the answer for people like me who have such extreme particularities about their car. It's the easiest paint to live with because it hides everything.
I prefer gray like that Tesla is, or
that
like my old Ford Focus was. My old Ford Focus is a little bit lighter than that, and it hid everything. How long is it gonna take? I'm a busy person.
It's a small car. It's a dirty car.
It is small though.
But it is a small car.
So like 20 minutes?
That's funny. I'll tell you what, it'll take as long as it takes because boy howdy is it filthy.
You want your car to either be so clean that rain dirties it, or so dirty that rain cleans it.
An interesting proverb from you.
I choose the latter. All right, let's see what this is all about. We have made it to the Happy Cow car wash, and now Kennan is going to pull out. My back seat is filled with things to clean this car, where I thought we were at a car wash place to clean the car.
One thing I brought is a little stool, which is very useful for cleaning wheels. Then I brought a whole bunch of towels and other things. Now we're going to dry the car somewhere else, but specifically I brought my wash mitts. So I've got those and various soaps and other things like that.
I've learned that one is for wheels, one is for the exterior.
That's right.
I'm told that there are different colors, and that's how he keeps track of which is which.
Now some people use one bucket, some people use two. I use three. There's one for rinsing general mitts. You rinse them between applications. One is for wheels, one is for body. Because I want to keep the soap separate, and they're different soaps that I use because they're different levels of aggression.
Okay.
So those are some of the things I brought. I also brought a leaf blower, but seeing as there actually seems to be a way to do it, we don't need that. But that's how I like to dry cars, is with a leaf blower. So these are the things that we need to get started. But before we do that, there's one prerequisite. Again, I'm dressed appropriately for this.
Yeah, so am I.
But I'm going to take off my ring and my watch because you don't want to risk scratching the car wearing anything made out of metal accidentally. So
I
you
will
should
take
off your
my
ring
wedding
too.
ring off.
Yes.
I will apologize to my wife later. There's 3 buckets. One is for rinsing off the wash mist. One is for the cleaning solution for the wheels. One is for the cleaning solution for the body.
That's right. Now, in each of them also, I have something called a grit guard. Because as you wash stuff, as you rinse each of these, you'll pick up grit and various pieces of dirt. And so this allows you to leave the mitt soaking
That's
in,
smart.
but it allows all the sediment to get to the bottom so you don't mix them. It's about trying to get rid of as much contamination as we possibly can. You ready to start?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, let's get started. But I have a question. Based on this poster,
Yeah.
everything we need is here. In my head, there's you rinse it, you wash it with soap, you dry it. There's like 11 things here, and then we have 3 buckets.
Yes.
What's first?
Well, we're just really going to use, for the whole thing, genuinely, we're just going to use the high pressure rinse. Really what we're using
I
the
do
pressure
have a lot
washer
of
for.
bugs.
Yes. But all the soap
There
I
was
brought is
rain.
designed to attack that. So we really don't need the extra stuff. So really what we're focusing on is using just the high pressure rinse to get as much stuff off of the car paint as we possibly can.
That's helpful.
Yes. Now we're going to start with the wheels. The wheels are the first thing you want to clean. But first we're going to put some water in the buckets and put the appropriate soaps where they belong.
Okay.
So we need water.
Let's get started.
All right, Filippo, put a little bit of water in each one.
I can do that.
Yep, you can do that. That's good. Now you got to put a little bit of this in. All right.
But this is still below the guard thing.
Yes, that's fine. But when you put soap in a bucket, you want to make sure there's water in it first, because if you don't, then it just sticks to the bottom of the bucket. Really with this, it's 3 big squeezes. 1, 2, 3. And go ahead and keep filling it up. It's going to get very sudsy, obviously. Just keep adding water to it. Once you start to, it gets high, then put it in there so it's not spraying everywhere all over you.
Yeah, I committed to not getting wet today, so.
Yes, you're dressed for this, you know?
All right, so this bucket is the wheel bucket.
Yes, that one is for wheels.
That's the rinse bucket, and that's the body bucket. Okay. We're learning things today. And it's okay. It only costs a lot of money to buy other things, probably. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, we have tools.
Yes, so this is a wheel brush. This is for going inside each of the spokes. You can get in between like the calipers a little bit with this. The correct way to do this based on how dirty your car would be, to be totally honest with you, is to take all 4 wheels off and clean them individually. But a lot of people can't do that. We don't really have time to do that today. And so that's not really all that necessary. I also normally like to wear gloves to do this, but again, just roughing it today.
Just roughing it. Is that enough water in the bucket?
That's probably enough for now. Yeah, go ahead and put some more water in there, into the rinse bucket.
So we're gonna start with the wheels.
You can start with the wheels for a couple reasons. One is that they're normally the most difficult thing to clean. They take a long time.
You get all the paint
At
down.
the end, you're tired, and so it's a good place to start.
So then you're tired, and that's when you have to start the rest of the car.
Right, well, it's easier to stand up and do the rest.
Okay.
So like if you have to crouch down, which is why I always bring something to sit on so you can get really close to the wheels.
Smart.
And so I like to start there. Additionally, because they are so dirty, we really want to make sure that we just get in there early and get that cleaned. And plus, when you wash the car, also, like if you were to do it last, then water sits on the paint, it forms water spots, and so you've kind of undone a lot of the work that you already should have started. You've already done.
I was gonna have the theory that if you wash the car first, then you wouldn't have any like dirt drip down.
So when you wash the car, you start with the top and work your way down with gravity. That's true.
Got it.
But because the wheels, it also matters a little bit less. You know, wheels have to be shiny, but not like paint. Paint really has to be treated.
Got it.
So that's why you do it first.
Dry it quickly.
Correct. Exactly. That's why we do it first.
All right.
The first thing we need to do is rinse the wheels down. As with all good washing, the rinse is what does a lot of the hard work of getting all the contaminants off of the paint. So first thing you want to do, so go ahead and start by rinsing.
You want to show?
No, you go right ahead. So just go around, make sure to get in the sidewall, make sure to work around there. Let's turn up the pressure a little bit. There we go. Good. And then while you're doing that, also try to get inside the wheel well a little bit too.
Got it. Okay.
There you go. We just want to get as much junk out of there as we possibly can.
Sufficient?
Decent rinse. You can already tell it's a different color.
It is a different color. I mean, like, just for posterity's sake, I'm going to just run my hand on the inside of that. A little dirty. Just a little dirty. It's okay, though. Good? You know what I've been realizing? How embarrassed I am by the lack of cleanliness of the car now that I see it more clearly.
Yep, it's like a completely different car.
I thought my wheels were brown.
Turns out they're really pretty gray.
They're really nice color. Who'd have thought?
Keep going. Gross. They look so much better already.
They look like, I think we should just be done.
No. We have much more work to do.
They're clean now.
Filippo, this is the overture.
This is the overture.
We now want to introduce soap into the process. So the benefit of soap, of course, is that it attacks all of the dirt itself.
There's no dirt left.
Off of the paint. Plenty of dirt left. Just because it looks nice because it's wet does not mean that it is clean. So the first thing I like to do generally is to get like a lot of soap on the wheel in general. So this is just a general fascia clean. So you're just like kind of getting soap everywhere.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be moving it around a little bit. So this soap is very good because it's designed to just attack dirt wherever it is. So it's kind of just generally everywhere. This is not like a specific detail clean. And then rinse this out, get any of those contaminants off of there. Then we take the brush and now we go in between all the spokes because this is where a lot of the dirt is going to collect is in these corners. And the beauty of having a brush is that it helps agitate that and get it off. It's kind of easy to clean in here. I'm kind of going behind a little bit too.
Got it.
See how much junk is coming out? See how brown it's turning?
Yeah.
Even though it looked very clean?
How do you decide when you're going to rinse out your mitt or your brush?
It's something you just kind of use common sense for. Like I try to rinse it out. I try to do half a wheel, like just agitating, rinse, half wheel, you know, something along those lines.
I'm not going to lie to you. It seems like overkill.
For you, it probably is, but I just kind of want to generally touch it a little bit at least. It's red and it looks pretty.
It does look pretty.
And it looks nicer than it did before. Right. Let me give it one rinse over real quick.
Oh yeah, sorry, apologies.
Just to, again, get a lot of soap on here before we do the final rinse.
Do you ever rinse that out with the water hose or the pressure, do you actually wash the actual mitt?
Depends on the circumstance. Normally I just will rinse them there. Yeah. I usually will just squeeze them in there real quick. It's just kind of awkward to hold the thing, so I generally do that.
And we're really blurring the lines between wheel cleaning and body cleaning now, Kennan.
Well, that's all fender liner, so that will be just fine. And now that it's sat on there for a little while, it's time to rinse that wheel. And then we're done with that one, we can move on to the next one. All right. So why don't you go ahead and shoot.
You want to start the next one, and then while you rinse that wheel?
That sounds like a plan, Filippo. Look how beautiful.
I know, they look really nice. Said I gotta clean the exhaust tips, Kennan?
Yes, it's a good idea to clean those too, because again, similar idea. It's a metal component.
You're gonna
so we're gonna rinse them real quick. It's probably best to use the brush here. You want to go around the exterior. Cleaning the interior, some people really like to do. I've never seen the point. It's just gonna be full of carbon from driving around. So the next thing to do is to rinse the body. We're gonna clean a panel at a time, but you wanna just get general water for the exact same reason as the wheels. Just like anything else, with gravity, water runs down. So you start with the top, and then you work your way down, you know, kind of go around the sides. Again, I like to do it layered at a time. So you do the roof, glass, body upper, body lower.
All the way around each side, okay.
And you just walk around the car. That's how I have found to do it. Or you get to one side, you go back, and do it like that. That's how I have found it.
Okay. The front of the car is dirty.
The front of the car is really dirty.
You cleaned my car and you added rock chips. Be more gentle next time.
Okay, so now with the general rinse done, we're going to move to cleaning the body itself. The same principle applies that we start up top and work our way down.
Does that change at all with the convertible top being cloth instead of like a metal roof?
So you can still clean it the exact same way. With convertible tops, you don't want to use like any severe detergents. Like dish soap isn't what you want to use. You can still use normal stuff. There are cloth like cleaning.
Yeah.
Top. Obviously, I have never cleaned a convertible cloth top. My 355s was always clean, so I didn't have to worry about it. but there are specific soaps that you can
not
use.
Driving or what?
I never used it. I never used the top. And then I replaced it and it was new. But yeah, so with convertible tops, we don't have to, we treat it just like a normal roof. The key is just make sure when we do the rinse that we really get everything off. But we're gonna treat it the exact same way. And then we're gonna move down to glass, and then the bodywork upper, and then lastly bodywork lower.
Great. I'm thrilled that I see water dripping from where the roof drains are, because that's a good sign.
You can also, if you run your hands like this, you can feel the stuff that's on top of the paint. It's like sandpaper. And also, like you can tell your car doesn't have wax on just how the beading is. It's all, the shapes are really not uniform.
You saw the rest of the car. You thought it had wax on it?
Have you ever waxed this car? Like, done any like coating?
I've waxed a car. I have not waxed this car. I've only owned it for 1.5 years, Kennan.
Only 1.5 years. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. Fill up the buckets with the appropriate water and soap, and then we can get to work. Exact same thing. So it's 3 big squeezes in this case. 1, 2, 3. For my personal pressure washer, it has a foam gun on it.
Oh.
And so what that allows me to do is I don't really have to, I still mix the bucket so I have like a mitt to go over stuff, but I also am able to just shoot the car with it and wipe it. Obviously we're somewhere else and I don't have my specific setup because I'm, again, as you're surprised to learn, very pedantic about what I use.
You brought a stool and a leaf blower, yeah, not surprised.
Save your back. Like, you do this so many times, it wears on you. It's good to have those things. I had a kneeling pad for years, which helps tremendously too. Just like take care of yourself and make sure, like, you know, just be careful with it. Yeah.
I also want to say we have permission to use buckets, even though you may see in some shots that you can't use buckets. The owners very kindly gave us permission to do so for this shoot.
Obviously, the amount of water you add affects the concentration depending on what soap you're using. And so the more water it is, the more diluted it'll be. You need aggressive.
I need aggressive.
Soap. So I would use more soap than water, honestly. Or a higher concentration of soap than water. Okay, so again, you want to get the mitt nice and soaked, really get a lot of the mixture in there. When you're cleaning, one of the things you want to do is not introduce more damage than you need to. So you always want to go in just straight lines back and forth. You don't want to do this ever.
Really?
Because it just,
but if you want to, in all the commercials, they're using those yellow sponges and like doing circles.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things you can do. Okay. Because if you do scratch it, a straight line scratch, much easier to take out than than swirls. So that's what I found. But I like to go back and forth like this, and then same thing. You want to flip it occasionally and rinse it so if what particulates you have picked up, you're not just dragging back across it again. I'm going to do the other side while I wait for you.
I assume you rinse off at the end, not as you go.
You do one panel at a time. So once we finish doing this, the top, rinse it, move on to the next one. The reason for that is, again, like you think that letting soap sit there will help.
No.
It doesn't. Well, you're gonna end up with soap spots all over.
Got it.
And so you just want to rinse it every time. So same exact technique as before, front to back, and rinse it well. So we want to do this piece of bodywork all the way back and the glass. So really this belt line all the way around the top of the car. So that windshield, A pillars, B pillars, C pillars. Some people ask how much pressure should you be using?
Sure, that would have been a reasonable question, yeah.
You don't want to scrub. It's nice even pressure throughout that you're just slowly agitating everything as it comes off. I feel like Larry just has There you go. Now we can move on to the body. Now, like, we've done the large drawing part, but as you can see, like, there's still stuff we definitely missed.
Yeah.
Washing the car doesn't necessarily get all of that. You try to get as much of it as you can,
right.
But there's some spots you have to work on detailing and getting some of the stuff out.
Look at the great flake in that paint.
Yeah, you forgot that it was metallic, didn't you?
I didn't forget.
Yeah, you forgot.
It's not a bad spot to stop.
It's not a bad spot to stop in if you're not super worried, but there's still like, there's some streaks in the paint, the glass won't be perfect, stuff like that. There's still like detail things you need to do at the end to really take it to where, so like being truly clean.
We've made it back to our office.
Yes.
On the way here, I could not put down the top. I could not open a window.
That's correct. You don't want to do that for a variety of reasons. With a cloth top, especially in Southern California, you want to leave it out to dry and you want to leave it stretched out as best as possible. So leave it up. With windows, you don't want to put them down and then up because they get streaky. Water gets along these seals, you know, they do roll down. And then it's just something more to clean. Just don't do it.
Kennan's going to show me what this panel could look like if I gave him 10 hours.
Right. Of course, if you really wanted to do this, you'd strip the car down and paint correct it like I mentioned. But there are a couple things that I would do. So one is when you're done with this is cleaning the glass thoroughly inside and out. So making sure that you're really going in and cleaning like all along the windows inside
For
and
example,
out.
you wouldn't want
really
that.
Oh gosh, no. Stop. For that, you really want to use a glass-specific cloths. They're really great. They're low pile, and critically, they won't get any lint on anything.
That is important.
Yeah, no paper towels. But you want to make sure you really get along the edges, flip them over, and I usually like to use 2 of them to go over once, get it clean, and then go over in case I missed any smudges, go over it again with another towel. Really make sure you get everything. The other thing is to go over the paint again and make sure you didn't miss anything. In this case, there's a lot of stuff that's like kind of baked on against some of this like dirt is kind of everywhere. And so again, going over with a product that you like is like a detail spray or some sort of final like a spray like that is great. And just again, going over the panel, making sure that you're lubricating it properly. But again, exactly like we did before, working in kind of straight motions like this to go across first and just kind of get as much as we can. And then go flip it over, go back across it again, just sort of up and down. Again, no circular motions. We don't want to do any circular motions. Now you can see there are a couple of little spots that really didn't work, so I'm just going to treat those individually. It's going to run a little bit, but we're going to do the rest of the panel later. Again, I just slightly gently agitate with my nail, and off it comes. And then kind of same thing, just go over it one final time.
Can you make sure that a beautiful Abarth badge is very clean?
Oh yeah, look at that. Well, there's some wax trapped behind it, or maybe that's glue.
Almost certainly glue.
The reason I go over this also with a second towel that's like a slightly older one, but slightly like more coarse pile is like I just want to get any fibers that were left from any of the towels on there off. The final thing, yes, to do the exact same thing with the wheels. Go over the wheels really carefully with a junkier cloth that you don't use. I have some old microfibers that I use, and that's what I use for the wheels specifically. Then dressing the tires with a tire shine that you like. I like tire gels as opposed to like tire shines themselves. The reason is it penetrates into the rubber a little bit more and it stays longer. It also won't sling down the side of the car when it gets wet. There are a number that are really good. The one I like in particular is really great for that. You have brand new tires, so doing that early is important to keep it looking nice for a longer period.
It's one of the two, and
I'm going to do it for you. We'll be in the 10 hours.
What else would you do? Right, so like people apply wax, people do other things. Is that something that you do in your normal car wash routine?
Not in a normal routine. If I'm going to apply wax, you want to strip down the paint as much as possible. You would use dish soap to clean all of it because it's aggressive and will get all of the wax and stuff that's been on there previously off. Then you would clay it to really get all of the contaminants off of the paint. Very time-consuming process. If you so feel like it, then you would wash the car again. Then you would paint correct it to make it really perfect because you want the best possible foundation.
This looks beautiful. I sent a picture to my wife, And she was very excited that it's clean for the first time since the last time it rained a lot, or a year and a half ago. Thank you for your help and for teaching me.
Well, it's no longer repulsive. I'm very happy
but
with this.
the wheels are, not because they're dirty, but because now you see where those wheels are known to have that issue. Now I'm frustrated by the quality of my car, Kennan. When it was dirty, I didn't know.
I can't help you with that. Good luck.
Maybe I gotta sell it.
And with that, we're done. Goodbye, everyone.